Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at cybersecurity, sort of a snapshot as we head towards the end of 2025. And our mission really is to understand the challenges, the economic side of things, but especially focusing on this huge gap that seems to be widening.
Yeah, that gap it's really the story here, isn't it? The difference between the technical defenses we can build and what organizations, institutions actually do manage to put in place.
Right.
And unlike, say, a big fire or a political noise, cyber failures, well, they often happen quietly. Businesses, public bodies, they suffer, sometimes in silence, maybe embarrassment.
But that silence seems to be breaking. Our
Yeah.
sources show this massive shift. Cybersecurity isn't just for the IT folks anymore. It's moved right to the front line for executives, for public admin, finally.
Oh, you can feel it. Definitely. It's palpable. I mean, cyber incidents they're almost daily now, or weekly at least. They hit systems people rely on every day. So awareness is just, it's normalized now, out of necessity, really.
And nothing shows that dependency quite like a major failure, does it? When the tech just stops working. We've got a really potent example from Spain, haven't we? That attack on Elche City Council back in August.
Yes, August 25th. The mayor there called it the most severe cyber attack in the city's history. And the cause? Pretty standard, actually. Ransomware.
Ransomware. Probably phishing related, though. And look, before we get into the fallout, it's worth saying it's easy to point fingers at someone clicking a bad link, but modern phishing, it's incredibly sophisticated.
Absolutely. It's an organizational failure, not just one person's mistake.
So the system goes down. What happens then, institutionally?
Well, the impact was immediate, and they had to follow the rules. They deployed an emergency plan, activated this crisis committee. It's actually required under Spain's national security scheme, the ENS. Think of it like a mandatory federal cyber framework for public bodies.
A required crisis committee. And practically.
Right.
On the ground.
Practically. It was back to the Stone Age, almost. Services offline. Administration forced back onto paper. Signing payrolls manually. Can you imagine?
Manually signing payrolls in 2025 because of a cyber attack. Wow.
Yeah, the irony isn't lost. Stamping ledgers to deal with a multi-million euro digital problem.
Okay, but the cost. Let's talk numbers. Elche's early estimate for recovery. It's pretty eye-watering.
It is. They're calculating around 4.5 million euros. An extraordinary expensive.
4.5 million euros.
And get this, that figure doesn't include any ransom payment. They're retortedly not paying. So that number, that's purely the cost of the technical fix, the consultants, the admin effort, just to get things running again and try to prevent it happening again. It shows the scale.
That huge recovery cost really throws the ransomware dilemma into sharp relief, doesn't it, for a private company, especially a smaller one. Every day offline is pushing them towards collapse. The pressure to just pay up and get back online must be immense.
It's a brutal choice. Pay the criminals, fund their future attacks, or face potentially ruinous downtime. Is paying actually the rational, short-term financial move sometimes?
That's the awful question, isn't it? We saw that play out with those two Las Vegas casinos hit recently, the one that paid back online, dramatically faster, according to the report.
Exactly. Dramatically faster than the competitor who decided to recover using their own backups, their own means.
So the cost of integrity versus the cost of being shut down, laid bare.
Precisely. Choosing integrity cost that second casino way more in lost revenue, likely millions more, which proves the point, really. The only reliable solution is getting everything sorted before it happens.
Before the crisis hits.
Yeah. You need proven recovery plans, not just plans on paper. You need to test your backups, properly isolated offline copies. You need to know your restoration time is, say, hours, not a week.
And design all that when things are calm.
Yes, when the pressure isn't on.
That kind of prep should be standard, especially for public services. Hospitals, police, tax systems.
It should be. But it needs investment when things seem fine. Which brings us back to that human problem valuing invisible risks.
Right. And now, well, the threat itself is speeding up. Massive.
Oh, indeed. Wildly.
Okay, let's pivot. The future threat landscape. If preparation is the defense, AI is like pouring gasoline on the attack surface fire. We need to talk about prompt lock, that AI-generated ransomware concept ESET found.
Prompt lock, yeah, that's a terrifying step change because it essentially democratizes cybercrime at a high level.
How so?
Well, think about it. Sophisticated ransomware used to need expert coders, maybe whole teams, complex infrastructure. Prompt lock uses generative AI language models to basically write malicious code on the fly, scripts that adapt themselves to the specific system they've infected. instantly.
Wait, someone with basically no programming skills could deploy really advanced ransomware now?
That's the implication. Yes,
Yeah.
it dramatically lowers the barrier to entry for serious attacks.
What?
And Román Ramírez, the Spanish cybersecurity expert, often called the Godfather, makes a broader point. He suggests AI isn't just changing threats, it's changing, well, everything.
Everything.
Labor, philosophy, law, the economy.
Yeah.
It's a total revolution, and we're just seeing the first edge of it hit the cyber attack surface.
So the defenders must be looking at AI too, right? How are they trying to use it?
They are. One big focus in the expert community is running large language models, LLMs, locally.
Locally, on their own servers. Why?
Several reasons. Avoiding vendor lock-in, avoiding subscription costs,
Mhm.
but crucially, avoiding the guardrails the big AI companies build in.
Guardrails, like safety feature.
Exactly. Features meant to stop malicious use. But defenders might need to analyze malware or probe defenses in ways those guardrails prevent. They want the raw capability. And interestingly, people are talking about the effectiveness of models like Quinn from China for local specialized tasks.
Okay, so attackers are moving fast with AI, optimizing instantly. Why are defenders, especially the big organizations, the monoliths, why are they often so slow? What's stopping them from using automated defenses effectively?
Well, that's the gap again, isn't it, between the tech capability
Yeah.
and what some call the world of real response.
Meaning?
Meaning, institutional factors get in the way, big company inertia. Sometimes, believe it or not, a fear of budget cuts if automation works too well and reduces the need for, say, headcount.
Wait, fear of losing budget? Because the solution works. That sounds counterintuitive.
It can be. Conflicting interests of senior management, departmental silos.
Job security disguised as strategy.
Sometimes, yeah, it can feel like that. Security teams might worry that automating big tasks could undermine their own budget or team size justification.
A self-defeating loop, then, driven by internal survival instincts, not necessarily security needs.
It can look like that, certainly.
Okay, but let's look at the money side, the positive economics. This sector moves huge amounts of cash and talent. Look at the acquisition of that Spanish startup, ONUM, by CrowdStrike. Shows how valuable this expertise is, right?
Absolutely. A great example. ONUM, founded by Lucas Varela, Pedro Castillo, Pedro Tortosa. They tackled two big pain points for security operations centers, SOCs.
Which were?
First, processing log data really fast before it even gets into the main system, the CM. That means faster detection. Much faster.
Okay.
Second, cutting down log redundancy. Sounds boring, but it saves companies massive storage costs and makes searching through the remaining logs much quicker when you're hunting for threats. It's smart optimization.
So the talent's valued, the money's flowing in acquisitions. But is the sector really maturing economically? Is cyber risk truly taken seriously at the board level as a fundamental financial risk?
The sources suggest probably not. Not fundamentally, anyway. Big deals happen, sure. But information security, as an asset, it often isn't connected directly to the company's bottom line, its net worth. It's still seen as a cost, a compliance thing.
So how do you force that connection? Make the board see it financially?
Well, one idea is to bake it into accounting. Tie it directly to the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, availability.
How would that work?
For example, if the integrity of your core customer data is breached in the IA, maybe the company should be mandated to write down the value of that data asset against its net worth. Through amortization cycles, maybe.
Treat it like damaged physical capital.
Exactly. That forces it into a capital expenditure discussion, not just an operational cost checkbox.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that might get genuine boardroom attention.
Yeah.
Because it hits the balance sheet directly.
Right. So bringing this all together, what does this deep dive mean for you, the listener? We've gone from the harsh reality of multi-million euro attacks like Elche through to AI making sophisticated attacks easier for more people. And we've seen the talent economy booming with acquisitions.
Yeah, but the core theme, the thread running through it all, is still that institutional lag.
The human element again.
The consensus from the experts seems clear. The technology, the tools, they're largely there, they're advancing rapidly, but the human decision-making, the institutional maturity, it just hasn't kept pace.
Back to Kahneman's point about valuing invisible danger.
Precisely. We struggle to truly value a risk we haven't personally felt the pain of yet, so cybersecurity often remains a sunk cost, something you do for compliance, for the auditors, not seen as protecting the fundamental structure, the patrimony of the organization.
Which leaves us with a final thought, really. If we, as humans, naturally struggle to value these invisible threats, how do businesses, how do governments fundamentally change their decision-making? How do they protect themselves properly against threats they only feel when it's already too late?
Moving from just checking a compliance box
Then shoot?
to a core strategy of defending the organization's actual value. It's
Yeah.
patrimony. Something to definitely think about as you look at the risks in your own world.